Greetings, disc golf fans, as we watch the MPO Round 1 Back 9 feature card at the 2022 Down East Players Cup in Greenville, North Carolina. I'm Andrew Fish, joined here by Nick Hanson.
Hey folks, how we doing today? It's a great day for disc golf.
Yeah, for sure. We are out here at the Meadow. This is a really fun park to play. It started as an advanced and intermediate course, but in the last 6 years or so, they integrated some longer tee pads, longer pin positions, and by now it's a really solid, challenging course.
This is my first time in the area, and this is a wonderful park course to get out and play, not only for fun, but for a tournament of this caliber.
Yeah, absolutely. You see here our round 1 front 9 leaderboard. Got some hot scores going out there. It sure seems like to be in the mix, you're going to have to shoot high single digits at worst.
Double digits out here is very impressive, and let's get into the back nine right away. Hole 10 is a par 4, 528 feet. There's a gap that you have to hit that's probably about 100 off the fairway, 120. It's going to get you in position to then try and attack the green. Very tricky par 4, but if you can get off the tee well, it turns into a birdie.
Yeah, a lot of options. I know I'm throwing mid-range off the tee, just, trying to play at a 2-shot hole. What's your attack here?
So I actually try to really attack this hole with a roller, but I'm going to catch early on that top left side. Wasn't even thinking about hitting there. Unfortunately, it goes against my game plan.
Yeah, early hit is never in my game plan.
No. Early hit on the ground would have been nice, but not in the trees.
Undeterred by you, Gavin's going to go roller and gets it to the right side. That was looking huge. But
he got one bad bounce right off the get-go, and it was unfortunate.
Did it roll up those trees in the middle?
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be great.
And, wow. Scott with a much more stable disc than I guess I anticipated. He drifts to the left side, but that's still in position.
Here I basically have just this step out sidearm.
Seemed like just kind of distracted in the backswing.
Yeah, I hit that tree behind me. I even told myself, to be aware of it and not. And obviously that's probably why I hit it.
So that leaves you with a couple options. You can either take an Anheuser route or a little bit of a flat to hyzer.
Yeah. I choose that right side there.
You're just
the bucket.
You're trying to put it in from everywhere. This is probably 325 out. Pushes the right side, gets to flat.
Realistically, I was just trying to get back all the way to the fence.
Yeah.
If it hits the fence, it'll roll back a little bit. I'll be at circle's edge for a putt.
It's a good thing Scott's tall, so he can just reach over that stump and throw it. He'll get to circle 2 with the mid play.
Gavin, unfortunately, turning his sidearm too much. It's going to be in the ground, probably about 80 short.
Yeah. Nate kind of leaning back to throw his forehand. I don't know if y'all remember this. Gavin actually had shoulder surgery last year. He had been unable to throw forehands without pain for quite some time. So I'm impressed that he's been able to recover enough to, use that as an elite weapon.
He's put a lot of effort this season and coming into the season into making sure he's ready. So I think he's taken the appropriate time and done the right things to get back in, good playing ability or, good playing shape.
Right, for sure. A little bit of a soft bid by Conway, and Nate kind of in a tough spot where,
pretty low ceiling in there.
Exactly. Like, you think it's not going to be an issue, but subconsciously you know that, you have to keep it low.
They're all white.
So it looks like we're just going to have a mess of pars here.
Yeah, and I was very, very, very happy to scramble for my par.
Yeah, you basically where a bad tee shot lands was where your second had.
Yeah.
And that's something I really like about this course in particular.
And let's move on to hole 11. Another great hole, very hard, very technical once you get into this gap. So the first shot you're going to need to get to the far right side of the fairway to then try and get into that mouth you just saw there. Once you get through, you need to get over that fence to get up to the green.
Yeah, really neat concept for this hole. Like the landing zone is very specific, and you know what I like about the course is that you can play it in practice and think you've got a game plan, like you know what you're doing, and feel like, oh yeah, I could come out here and shoot 10 easy. But you get into the round and, you know, maybe it's one bad tee shot, maybe a putt doesn't fall for you. All of a sudden you're behind and the course is now frustrating. It should be so easy.
Yeah, this is the stretch where you really need to hang on, and I would say try and grab 1 or 2 birdies.
Yeah. Gavin looks like he's going big driver here and keeps it low, starting to drift right. He hugs the corner tree, and that's going to push into the gap. That's huge.
That's an absolute crush. And we can see our card in front of us even looking back to see what was coming in on him.
Yeah, anytime you make the card ahead of you turn around, you did something right or really wrong.
This is true. 2 options.
Scott, Anheuser release. That's going to fade out. There is OB on the left side, but Scott didn't quite find that. However, he's going to be very pinched.
I was going to say he's about just as much trouble.
Yeah, no bonus stroke, but really no chance for birdie.
And here, I had a line, so I really tried to go for it and try and skip one all the way up there so I could get a jumper. And as you can see, just kind of turned it over into the ground.
Yeah, you were far enough back that, you know, even without that stance, it's hard to put enough power on the disc while keeping the nose angle correct. You'd have to get it, you know, above that fence, below the ceiling, and on the right line. Scott forced to just take a jump putt up to the mouth of the tunnel.
Yeah, and from where Nate was, he had a very, very good upshot.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like this tight turning back or sidearm.
Good little putter shot. That should be a makeable par save. And we're finally up here.
Yeah, finally to Gavin. Oh, man.
Tell you what, this card is a highlight factory right now. What does this look like for you? Sometimes this is jungle.
Miserable. I've got like there's kind of this like spiking forehand that I'm trying to throw soft so it gets back right a little. And
very well done.
it did it very well.
Yeah, that's the kind of shot that keeps your round going.
It does.
Right now, because you're in decent position and you feel like you have to execute from inside 200.
I agree. Yeah, being a couple down and then trying to scramble on these holes is not where you want to be.
Definitely. Well done. Mini fist pump.
Little fist pump there for the par save. Gotta be happy about those.
I've been watching a lot of playoff baseball, so I've been thinking about celebrations. I want a bat flip caddy. I want a caddy to come along and carry a bat with me, and every time I make a big putt, just like flip it as though I'm walking to first.
Could you just flip a disc?
Not without the threat of a penalty stroke or a warning.
Well, I mean, if you just flip it up and down next to you, it wouldn't be, right?
Yeah. It wouldn't be,
over
but
6 meters.
That doesn't have the same like cachet as a big wooden bat or something.
That's fair. You're not wrong. All right, hole 12 is an 868-foot par 5. There's going to be OB that runs the entire left side of the fairway. Some at the beginning on the right side, but then it's going to open up. The rough on the left or on the right is still going to be very tough, so you need to stay in the fairway. For me, it's 2 big sidearms to hopefully get to this area to have my look down the tunnel to get up and down for birdie.
For sure. First shot has to be moving left to right at some point during its flight. And then dealer's choice on the second. We see Perkins go with a little bit of a flip up forehand and pushes the left edge. He's in, I think, a really good spot.
Ideal position. I would love to be there as well.
We see Gavin a little bit of a flatter shape And he's not going to get quite the same distance, but he'll be a little more centered in the fairway.
Really, if you're anywhere by this kind of patch, you're setting yourself up to get a birdie.
Yeah, and the challenge is that patch is blind off the tee. Like, you have to, kind of walk up, look at it, and keep a durable vision in your head of where it is and how you get there.
Oh, the tree kick. I was wondering how I got there. So lucky.
Once again, Scott with the backhand. I think he's going with a fairway driver here. And that's overturned.
Gonna stay safe, though.
He's going to go thumber.
Oh. And that one, unfortunately, is going to come down OB.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Dang it.
Uh-oh. Kind of two forehands inside. But you're not paying for it a ton.
Getting him up instead of getting him through is the big problem there. You lose a ton of distance very quickly.
Do you have a cue that you use to correct for that? As we see Gavin, commit and push it?
Yeah, I just need to commit and push it. The sidearm's been a struggle for me as of late, so really just need to be focusing more and committing more to it.
Yeah.
Than just trying to go through the motions and have it be natural.
Just field work?
Field work.
Yeah. Scott's third here. He's going to get kind of a booming Anheuser and robbed a little bit. That's the tree you're kind of aiming for on the corner.
Yeah, if you can get just past it, you're going to be in a good position. I'm here early trying to throw a skip shot down the alley, catching the backside of that fairway.
Yeah, kind of no harm, no foul, though. You basically have an automatic 5 because the basket is elevated, but in the middle of a bowl that just collects discs.
Yeah. Yeah, really just kind of chunking my way along to get par.
Mm-hmm. The rare forehand from Conway. And holy cow.
Nate somehow not hitting anything. He even said, he was like, honestly, I was trying to do a little plinko there.
Right? I messed around a little bit on the right side during a practice round, and it was like, wow, I do not want to be here. So amazing that he gets 100 long. Gavin kind of scoots out of the bowl, but in good shape for his 4.
Come on. Oh my God. Oh, that needed to go in.
Scott trying to throw one in there.
Yeah. And you're back to the polecat. One good skip and digging.
Just like you said, just trying to get into that bowl there. If I skip one time, it's probably going to fall in there.
Yeah. And I think this is Scott for his bogue. Double. Had he gone out of bounds in 2?
Yep.
Okay.
He did go out of bounds. Yeah, so first shot was safe. Second shot went OB on that left-hand side.
This one kind of stacks up on you quick. You can play this and think it's the easiest hole in the world. This is such a soft par 5. And all of a sudden, if you're out of position once, it's all over.
Quickly getting hurt.
Yeah.
Here we are, the hole 13. It's a 513-foot par 4. You're going to have 2 lines to throw. This is the main gap. The hyzer is going to get you right to about here. Realistically, though, it is a 2-shot hole. I'm not going to see many people try to go for it with a big backhand or a roller.
Yeah. Everybody in the card looking at that left side?
I think we split it 50-50, actually.
Really? Wow. Okay. I was playing with a bunch of locals, and they all remarked on how this tee had been lumpy. They were afraid of throwing hard on it because it would kind of move on them. And within the last couple weeks, a few volunteers put in a ton of work to make this course much better, and especially this tee.
Yeah, shout out to them then, because this tee was incredible. As you saw, I was able to get great footing there and threw a perfect flip-up shot to get out of the gap.
Yeah, yeah. And Scott said that some of those guys were out here every day for the last 2 weeks, like finishing their weed eating, killing ant hills. And for me, I really, really want to say thank you to the folks who have made that possible.
Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate that. I saw personally the guys out there doing the ant hills, and I can't thank them enough. I actually had ants on me the one day I was practicing, so very happy that they're out there putting in this work, because there's a lot of work that goes unseen, and it's usually by like a small group of people in the community. So really, if you're not doing anything yet, I recommend you stepping up and doing something for your community.
Yeah, for sure. We see Nate and Gavin both kind of bogged down off the tee, but able to get out into the open after 2. Scott kind of in ideal position here to throw a little soft nose up mid-range and juices it a little bit.
It's almost like he placed it there on that hyzer.
And you get to throw the softest little polecat shot to just squibble up to 8 feet.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be one of the easier birdies on the day.
Yeah, and at 513, the tee shot is really, really critical here. Gavin, going to be looking at a par. And this is big for Scott's round right now. Nicely done to get back to 1 over. He's got a few scoring holes left to come. But you got to figure as the defending champion and, you know, the local advantage, he was looking to make a statement in this round.
I would agree. Coming from the area, you also might feel a little more pressure.
Yeah.
That could be put into it today.
Yeah, home course tournaments or pseudo home course tournaments are sometimes hard because you feel like there's the expectation that others are putting on you.
Yeah.
Discover Greenville, North Carolina, where we put whole hog Q on the map and inspiration lives on every corner. Unplug for a moment of tranquility or enjoy one of our parks, fields, greenways, or trails. Then recharge with fresh, local flavors, one-of-a-kind art galleries, and toe-tapping music. North Carolina's Emerald City is filled with countless hidden gems. Find yours in Greenville, North Carolina.
All right, here we are at hole 14, 413-foot par 3. It's going to be just kind of a power shot for these guys, nice and flat to then skip up to the basket.
Yeah. After playing a whole bunch of like technical kind of mid-range distance shots, having to juice up to a distance driver is a little bit of a challenge. I take it back. Maybe not.
Come on, another cage. Oh, you did!
What's gotten into you?
Oh,
Like,
so close.
how do you bottle this forever?
Beautiful. Nick.
That is
We
beautiful.
just showed up today.
Another cage. Oh, you
Wow.
did!
I like that your card is recognizing the magic that you're into right now, too.
They were loving it as much as I was.
Yeah,
It's
what-
nice to see.
You get a good vibe on the card?
Great vibe.
Yeah.
It was a great day yesterday.
I talked to Perkins a little bit after the round, asked him, like, you know, why he's here and not at the, you know, the big money skins or something. He said it just made sense with his schedule, but he also really likes playing these regional A tiers. He feels like there's a lot of like flavor and life and soul of disc golf here, where it's competitive. You can see some really high level golf, as you're demonstrating, but at a little bit more of a relaxed feel than some of the Pro Tour stops.
Yeah, very very much a different feel to these A tiers than a Pro Tour stop, but still very competitive, very fun.
Yeah.
A lot of excitement going on them.
I like that Nate just kind of like slugs that overstable disc out to the left, trusts it to break in front of the obstacles, and able to get inside the circle. Oh. I think that view was really good to show how active Scott's wrist is in his putt.
Yeah.
Like he gets his weight shift, and his wrist is a really, really poppy finish to it.
We got some for sale if you need one. Got you.
Just a little quick sales pitch.
Well, yeah. Nick, you got anything for sale?
Currently, I have some of my stamp discs. Hit me up on Instagram if you'd like one. Hanson Disc Golf.
And I think you need to make the disclaimer here that results may vary. Like, you can't
Yeah.
promise 3 basket hits around for everyone.
I can't promise that. But we can move on to hole 15, 551 foot par 4. The drone is flying the main gap. Most players, though, I think are going to throw the right outside tee shot to just kind of skip up into the fairway and then have a easier second shot as well.
Yeah, even with the elevated basket and a couple gaps off the tee, this was the second easiest hole on the day. And well done to push through, holding the right side. And like, there's a little bit of a shelf here that you're trying to get onto, right?
Yeah, you want to get up there, but I don't mind being short like I am there because it's really important just to have that ability to get up and down for the birdie rather than being stuck back here within these trees.
Yeah. And you spoke in the front nine about how, Scott would kind of take the more direct shot, and that's a great example of doing so.
It is much tighter gap, but plays to his abilities way better.
Right. He likes that Anheuser release, whereas you and Gavin are much more hyzer players, right?
Way prefer the power hyzer.
Mm-hmm. And some of that's a function of like where you grow up, but everyone kind of sees disc golf lines differently. For example, I would never dream of throwing a forehand up here. Oh man,
He caught the last hanger. We
in
all
the
thought that
prime
was
of life.
so good.
Wow. No. I think Gavin did right to trust the width on that in order to get enough distance. Like this is one of the sandiest greens, so you really can't get any skips. You have to air it all the way to the basket.
Yeah, unless you're skipping 60 feet early
Right.
into the sand. But yeah, if you're inside the circle, you're probably going to land within about a couple feet of where it hits down.
So here you are. Yeah, you get that rocket skip up to 15, 18 feet.
Yep.
Nice. And by far the longest drive of the group. Easy peasy for Scott. And the advantage of that sand is Gavin can kind of run that without feeling like it's going to do anything when it hits the ground.
Right. You sometimes when it's up that high, you worry about it coming down and rolling. But for us, we don't have that problem. Nate just a little short, unfortunately. Going to catch that front rim.
Yeah, that's tough. You want to see him build some momentum in these last few holes to go into round 2. There's a lot of scoring opportunities in round 2 at the ECU North Rec course, and then we'll be back here at the Meadow for round 3.
Personally, I really wish we played this course 3 times.
It's super fun.
Yeah, it's a great track. A lot of score separation per hole ability.
And well done. You and Scott both looking to cash in the birds. That'll get Scott back to even as well. And a little dunk. Was there any fighting on the card about who has nicer hair, you or Nate?
There wasn't any discussion, but I think it's clear and obvious that it's me.
All right, sound off. Hole 16.
288 foot par 3. Most players are really going to throw the flat putter shot. Maybe something that flexes a little bit.
Yeah, this was by far the easiest hole on the day. The Mando's not really in play. Very open tee shot. No out of bounds to really speak of. And, I mean, sure. go get you another tap in.
Nice easy putter shot.
Scott, I think, is going to go with the mid. Very overstable, powered a little bit, and wow, he's running the basket. You can't really see the basket off the tee, so you have to, walk up to the top of the hill, pick a tree, and like figure out how you want to orient yourself relative to that.
Yeah, Scott and I both told Nate where it was, but when it was his turn, he still went up there and looked to make sure we were telling him the right thing.
He's figuring you guys are doing a little gamesmanship here.
You just never know, especially when you're competing for money.
And looks like that look did him some good.
It did. Found his spot, got over there. All inside the circle here.
Yeah, worst drive of the group is Gavin, and he's at 24 feet.
Yeah.
Nicely done for his bird. So y'all are the last card of the day. Are you checking scores to see, where you stand at this point?
I checked scores probably around hole 14, just to kind of see what was going on. The first day is all about just getting yourself in a good position.
Right.
So if I'm off by 3 or 4 strokes, I'm not terribly worried. But if I'm off by like 7 or 8, then I'm like, oh boy, I got to push here these last couple holes.
Yeah.
So I felt good with where I was going into the last holes. I played through the tough holes very well. I didn't get any birdies, but I also didn't take any bogeys. So I was happy about that for the round. Hole 17 here is a 371-foot par 3. The drone is actually flying the line that I throw. However, it is not the straight line towards the basket. This line is a great hyzer with the sidearm for the right-handed player to skip in through the basket. However, if you go OB deep, there is a drop zone you go to.
Yeah, and you might not find your disc. It's pretty mucky back there.
It's so gross back there.
But at 371, I'm not really thinking of going out of bounds. It's pretty far for that. And you don't quite give it the width, huh?
I finally threw it the way I wanted it, but I didn't throw the right line. Like, I finally hit it flat and straight like I wanted, but I was off of my line by, 3-4 feet.
Killer. We know Scott's going to take that backhand right side.
Oh, that's terrible.
Throws the flat shot to drift, and that'll land him left of the basket, maybe with a look.
Oh,
Pretty terrible.
giving a little ankle biter to the group in front of us.
Make him dance, man. Just like Yosemite Sam would. Gavin following you, able to give it a little more width, and gonna funnel. Sure.
Right to
Into
the
circle's
basket.
edge, huh?
Yeah. It kind of starts to go downhill once you're riding that hyzer.
Yeah.
So for me, it makes the most sense to throw that line. The straight shot that turns a little bit and then fades out I just feel too tricky for me.
Yeah. You either need to pick left or right of the basket here, because the straight line is pretty cluttered. So you're gonna take that same kind of shape, play the left fairway. Is this another mortar?
This is actually a Toro.
Toro,
so
okay.
A little more stability. That way I can get a little more on it, but it's going to give me about the same distance.
Yeah, and exactly that distance, huh? Scott finds a window in the grape. And not a grape effort.
Oh, Nate just off the top. Straddled out there to get a little window, it looked like, but fortunately, too high.
And straight and centered for Gavin.
His putt is so consistent.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to watch.
I hung around after the round and saw him out there putting. Like, you can tell the guys who put in the work.
Yeah. Yeah, we probably played about an hour to an hour and a half of baseball after you left. It's so much fun. Great putting game if you don't know. I recommend you looking it up.
Well, I mean, this is an opportunity for you to tell the people on your social media channels or something.
Come find me on my socials. I'll explain it.
There you go.
Hole 18 is a 354-foot par 3. There's going to be the path that runs along the right side, and behind the basket, that's OB. For me, I'm just trying to get a hyzer off to the left to try and give myself a putt.
Playing the backhand?
Yep.
Yeah. Out of bounds isn't super in play if you throw something with a little stability to finish.
And there's a lot of room over there. You can get past hole 1 if you want and still be in bounds.
Is this a mid or a fairway for you?
This is a mid-range here.
Mm-hmm.
Just try and throw some flat, let hyzer at the end. And
yeah, you definitely want to push that a little more right of the basket, though, huh?
yeah, just if I throw it flat, it's going to be good, but I just release it hyzer, and it stayed hyzer the entire way.
Right.
Still up there, inside circle, though.
And Scott, as the local, knows how to throw this. Really nice way to use the entire width of the gap and fairway.
And he's going to put himself even a little deep there. Probably about, what, 18 feet?
Yeah.
Great shot.
Yeah, good for him. And like I said on the front 9, like you want to get your scoring done early and late. And, you know, if he can get this one to finish, it'll feel good. It's some momentum going into round 2.
Just a little soft.
Yeah.
Didn't really give it that full bid. Got to commit a little harder.
But you're still going to end up at 8 down with your tap in to finish.
Very happy with that. Clean round.
Yeah, very solid. No bogeys, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
That's great.
Very happy with that.
And driven, Gavin gets to 9. That'll put him on the chase card.
There's going to be a lot of people bunched up between that double-digit and high single-digit numbers here after this, I bet.
Yeah, thinking about the scoring separation, like if you're playing well, this course rewards you. Like you get a pretty good number. And if you're scuffling, you know it too.
You find yourself in trouble often.
Mm-hmm. So Scott for his birdie, Nate taps in for his par, and here's you to finish. All right, let's take a look at the standings here. Got a 9, an 8, a 2, and a 1. A little bit of struggles from Scott and Nate, but still saw some wonderful shots out of them. Really appreciate getting to watch. And you and Gavin putting a clinic together.
Yeah, we were going shot for shot there for a while. It was fun.
Yeah.
Gavin and I are pretty good buddies, so it's fun to battle on the course during a round.
Mm-hmm, definitely. So we'll have a complete changeover for round 2 of Gatekeeper Media's coverage. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share, and come back and watch. Nick, what are you looking forward to?
I'm excited for round 2. We're going to have some more open shots. Hopefully see some big drives out of those folks over at the other course. And just excited for another round with you, Fish.
Hey, that's what it's all about. For Gatekeeper Media, I'm Andrew Fish.
And I'm Nick Hanson. We'll see you on the next one.